This isn't a mountain. This is the largest tree on Earth.
What is Mall World?
Speaking of what Mr. Beast knows.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got a good one coming up today, y'all. We got the Olsen twins looking like, I don't know what happened to them. We got mountains that are really trees. We got this whole mall world theory. We're going to have some fun today and have some good discussions, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Park kind of flat on the river road, and I had to walk like 5 miles in the dark all the way home out PCP. And horses, one had a red hat, two had a blue hat. They was on horses. They was demons. They was on horses chasing me. I ran all the way to my mama's house. This like 5 miles I ran. My mama would tell you this. She was trying to put me in a crazy house after years. And when I got to the house, I was crying. I was crying. I had cuts on my feet, all on my legs, because I was jumping gates.
But
it was demons on horses. The one in the middle had a red hat. The other two had a blue hat. And they had a whip in their hand. And they was coming after me fast, and I just kept running. I kept looking back. I kept running, and when I got to my mama door, I was full of blood, and I was crying. I was crying. She said I was saying the demons and horses, the demons and horses.
You'll see all these $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. Hell, here's one. There's one. All right. I want to show you what these sumbitches are made out of. You see that? Look at that shit. Hold on. It gets better. Okay. Now, behind all those bricks, right there, there's this. Ain't shit to it. Y'all want y'all's goddamn homes built out of fucking cardboard? 200 G's. 200 G's. Look at that shit. Hold on. It gets better. Okay. Now, behind all those bricks, right there, there's this. Ain't shit to it. Y'all want y'all's goddamn homes built out of fucking cardboard? 200 G's. 200 G's.
Now we know.
You know, and what's sad is, I don't know if it's like this in all states, but in Arizona, I was trying to get a house up north before I moved to Texas in Payson, right? And there was a house that was like built in 1975, and they told me, you know, it's possible, but you have to get a house. I don't remember the exact month. It might be 80s or something, but you can't get a house alone. You can, but it's very difficult to get a loan for an older house. Like if I wanted that house, I wouldn't have qualified. I would have had to pay cash, $300,000 cash for that. So that's how they get you. You're forced to buy these newer houses that are pretty much just styrofoam.
Whole government shutdown thing was always just a big ploy. Let me explain. So first, the news just broke that the longest ever government shutdown is finally coming to an end. They're saying that the broad framework for this agreement was negotiated by Senator Angus King, Jeanne Shaheen, and Maggie Hassan, as well as GOP senators, has now, quote, more than enough members of the Senate Democratic Caucus to advance, according to two people granted anonymity to disclose the terms. So then I went to research what was so different about this new bill, and the answer is absolutely nothing. They say that this deal is a pragmatic off-ramp from the initial stalemate, a quote-unquote cleaner CR with some wins for both sides, but it largely kicks the core fights, ACA subsidies, Medicaid cuts down the road without resolution. So why the vote now? Well, it's this. One of the main reasons why the shutdown began in the first place is because the Democrats feared electoral backlash from their base. This is an article from last month, and they said that, quote, it's been clear to them that the American people don't want to see a Democratic Party that capitulates to a Republican extremism. They want a party that stands up for people's health care, that stands up for our democracy, and that's what they're doing now. And that message worked brilliantly for the Democrats. They absolutely shellacked the Republicans in the elections last week. And now Democrats who won their elections last week are coming out and saying, yeah, they can be done with this government shutdown now. Yeah, that big fight over health care, yeah, that is not even in this new bill. So we had a 40-day government shutdown, air traffic, a complete mess, massive bread lines across the country for absolutely no reason. Okay, it's all a freaking game to these scumbags, and the American people are always the one to suffer.
Lastly, and switching gears here, what I want to say to you and this is building upon what I said earlier, is pay very close attention, because all of the wrong people, and by this I mean the pro-Israel crowd, are signaling hard to us that another 9/11 is coming. They're jacking up the jihad rhetoric. Everyone's a jihadist. Muslims are coming. The Muslims are here. Mabdani, there's a jihadist threat.
Very strange. All these
Dig
men
deeper into
that
that.
were the inventors of the rockets and stuff, they're all very, very into the occult. And so one guy, Jack Parsons, who is called America's rocket godfather, basically he's the one that started the rocket program in the United States. He was part of this organization called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. He was basically underneath Aleister Crowley.
No way.
He had his own chapter in California. So Aleister Crowley, he joined the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, where he was trained in ceremonial magic. But this guy, Jack Parsons, he said that through the ceremonial magic and whatnot, him, just like others, like the Nazi Party, these Russian engineers, they all received this information about going to space and going to the stars from different entities.
Oh, come on.
They said it was never our knowledge. It was gifted to us. They called them like downloads and stuff. That was just a weird thing to me. This connection of like pretty much the same exact time all over the world, these engineers were receiving these revelations from entities being like, you have to conquer space, conquer the stars. This is how you're going to do it. And they all built these rockets around the same time. Just crazy to me. I also discovered that Buzz Aldrin, along with a ton of astronauts, a ton of NASA directors, were all 33-degree Freemasons. And Buzz Aldrin, when he landed on the moon, with him, one of his belongings that he brought was a tiny little silk flag that was from the Freemason Scottish Rite movement, the 33-degree Masons. Super weird.
What are we doing?
Really weird thing. One of these test pads where they tested the Apollo missions was test pad number 33, and there's only one runway at NASA. Only one runway. It's not runway 1, not runway A. It's runway 33.
Why?
Super weird.
I don't get it, man. This is just beyond me. I hate it.
This isn't a mountain. This is the largest tree on Earth, one of America's hidden natural wonders. Can you recognize it? It's called Devil's Tower, and from a distance it looks like a mountain. But get closer, and it looks like something got cut down. It rises 867 feet straight up. That's taller than a 60-story skyscraper. No crater, no lava, no volcano nearby. Just one giant column of stone standing alone. Geologists say it's cooled magma from deep underground, but others believe it's the stump of a prehistoric megatree. The patterns on the sides? They look like fossilized tree fibers, perfectly vertical, perfectly unnatural. Native American tribes have called this place sacred for centuries. Some say it once reached the sky. Others call it the Tree of Life. So, what do you think? Is it just a strange rock? Or is it proof that Earth had giants of its own? Let me know in the comments, because once you see it, you'll never look at trees or mountains the same way again.
I don't know if you've ever seen Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It's like a big rock formationage, and it just looks like a big like chimney tower thing. And I was like, I think something's underneath that. And so we have access to one of the best world's AI LiDAR machines. And so we took it up there, we snuck it up there and shot photon protein fiber beams at it. And underneath, we saw a bunch of structuralage. And I posted that. And so I found the entrance to it. It looks like some Egyptian-esque like caverns. And so we're trying to get access to it. We were supposed to get the permits this week so we could dig down to the door because the entrance is under the soil.
Okay.
But government shut down, so it's taking a long time to get these permits.
Okay. You're waiting to get that permit.
Yeah. Hopefully we get it in the next couple of weeks and I can get digging up there.
And it's Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower. Yep.
So have you been to the top of Devil's Tower? Because I'm looking at it.
I haven't been to the top, but one interesting fact about Devil's Tower is I called my cousin who works at PetSmart in the fish section. I said,
and she knows.
I said, what do we know about Devil's Tower? And she said, one is it's made of rock and it's pretty big, which I thought was pretty cool. And second, she said that it's in Wyoming, and Wyoming's actually a state in the United States, which was really cool as well.
I don't like that dude.
If money is evil, then that building is hell. This is the most obnoxious group of money-hungry, low IQ, high energy, jackrabbit, and wannabe, big-time, small-time talking, bothersome, irritating bunch of motherfuckers I have ever had to endure for more than 5 minutes.
Damn, fell down the stairs. Tax write-off. It's cold-blooded, y'all. That's a cold man right there.
Tell you something. What? Tupac tried to warn us by goddamn Snoop Dogg. The more I look into the goddamn dog, I realized he could be bought. First, he was dissing Trump. Then he ended up performing at Trump's inauguration. Then he said he don't even go to the movies no more. He's scared to go to the movies because the rainbow agenda that they pushing on the goddamn kids. And now he's promoting a rainbow agenda in his new cartoon, Doggyland. He just ain't the deal where he has set the air his new cartoon shows with Adam and Steve and Eve and Eva in his cartoon series. Just months after he said this shit here. Check this shit out.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with, Buzz Lightyear.
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years, they move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Oh, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she and she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. It threw me for a loop. These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like,
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask, I don't have the answer.
Now, if you put a pile of money on the ground on one side in front of a normal dog and a chicken bone on the other side, the normal dog gonna always choose the chicken bone every time. But not that goddamn Doberman Pinscherman goddamn Snoop Dogg. Cause he gonna walk right past that goddamn chicken bone and he going dead at the money. He a sellout. He an infiltrator. He'll get on the internet and speak one way to our people when they ain't paying. Whoever ain't paying them, he gonna speak against that. But then he gonna switch up when whoever he spoke on when they offer his ass some money. Snoop been flip-flopping sides his whole career. He ain't never stayed down with nobody. He down with the money. He switched up on Tupac for Biggie in the heat of their rap beef. Probably cause Diddy had more money than Suge. At Snoop age, he shed his skin.
You know, I don't even think it's anything to do with money. I think the powers that be, because it's ironic that he's coming out with the cartoon, right? Cartoon with that agenda in there. It's ironic, right? Right after he said that, I think the powers that be said, you want this stuff to come out? Because think about it. Snoop is known he can go anywhere on this face of earth. He can probably go to that island, I forgot what it's called, where they got the spears when they're coming. He can probably go there and they know who Snoop Dogg is, right? He can go everywhere. So you know they have some dirt on him. You better do this or this is coming out and you're done, right?
How funny are these Merkins, you guys? We have different colors, different hair. This is insane. Skims, baby.
You look at, for example, Mr. Beast and his crew. They're all individual personal brands, but who are they managed by? Night Media. Okay, and who's Night Media owned by? Disney. So you basically have glorified Disney kids that have contracts that they have to say certain things, that they have to run certain agendas, and they don't really have a choice.
So everybody's talking about Mr. Beast getting exposed by this guy who made a video just using critical thinking and logic, or he's never even made a video before. He posted one video like 4 days ago. Is this going to be enough to topple an empire?
Oh, first person out gets a car, and it just happened to be your friend Mac.
I'll be like shocked, like have your hands over your face, like you're emotional as you can be. So like have your hand reaching for it, and then like be like shocked, like you're, yeah.
And I believe he grew up in Greenville, North Carolina, the exact same town where I was born and raised. Greenville's a place where like downtown thrives off of the nightlife provided by the college. The college is like right there. Businesses just trying to capitalize off of that demographic got to the point where the town of Greenville was rated the #1 party town in America. And so the whole town thrives on that demographic, which actually fits well with the whole brand of Mr. Beast. So it's not surprising that he has chosen to stay in Greenville to be able to buy a neighborhood and have all his employees live in that neighborhood and the housing and kind of control an area that is controllable. That's how I would describe Greenville.
So I see a lot of people saying like, oh, if you knew, why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you go to the authorities? Well, I was going to come forward. And also like going to the authorities isn't going to work because what are you going to say? Like you heard rumors that this person was this way or that, you know, there's obviously evidence of like the shad-based stuff. Like that's been out for a while. People have internally known at the company. They're like,
Mr. Beast has transformed that town to where the local college, East Carolina University, they are launching in conjunction with him a media studies program.
rigging is actually completely illegal.
He's able to do things on YouTube that he would never be able to do on any other medium because this is still the Wild West.
Illegal lotteries where the only way to win a prize is by making a purchase. And obviously I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just going to show you the law and then show you irrefutable evidence of what's being done, and you can make your own conclusions.
This does do a good job of laying out the math and the business model of how they're actually saying, man, we're giving away so much free stuff right now. What does that do to the viewer logically? Oh, this is a good deal. They're giving stuff away. I'm going to act on this.
And there was just no way they were ever even close to losing money on this stream.
I don't know who this is, but you just got a pair of AirPods. Oh my gosh, we're not making money. Guys, we need to stop giving everyone something.
And they can see the analytics that it's spiking when they do that. Therefore, then they repeat that. And now looking at it, you can see how artificial that is. I'm not going to lie. This, looking at it now, given the logic that has been laid out, I do see him differently. What is stopping me from saying, yeah, anybody who like leaves a comment on this, I'm going to choose one of you to get 500, like, unless you actually hear from the person who got the $500 who left a comment. But
do is subscribe to my channel.
I can't believe people are still doing fucking giveaways. Holy shit, it's so annoying. Stop this fucking shit. I'm so...
Speaking of what Mr. Beast knows, he did this whole thing of like underground nuclear bunkers. Like he went to the bunker that we've talked about when we were talking about the Denver airport.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You know that one that's in Colorado?
In the mountain?
He got access to it.
What is this guy into?
He's an asset at this point.
I think he is.
I mean, he wasn't allowed to film a lot. Like they kept on saying, okay, you can't film this part.
How do you get that clearance?
That's what I'm saying.
They have to be contacting him. What did he say about the bunker?
You could literally drop the most powerful nuke on top of it and it would not destroy it.
You know they have more too.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have more.
They have a subway in there.
What?
I
That's
said,
even
could
better.
you imagine being a subway worker and you just have to go into this underground bunker every day?
Yeah.
What's comforting to know is that if our entire species suffers nuclear winter, Subway will live on.
Subway will be there.
That's weird to me that
should be a
Subway hasn't
conspiracy.
gone out of business. Like,
What if they are literally just keeping them afloat just because that's a restaurant in this bunker?
Yeah, we can't get rid of it.
Like they're funding Subway.
They probably did that like 30 years ago and then Jared Fogle messed up. They're like, dang it, Jared!
Or maybe he found out something about the bunker and they blackmailed him.
Oh! Release Jared Fogle!
Oh,
no, we're not doing that.
Look at, I mean, fun fact for y'all. Subway is the #1 fast food chain in the world. More than McDonald's, more than what else is on McDonald's level? Wendy's, I don't know. Subway is #1. And no one eats Subway no more. I don't know how they're still in business. You know, I would rather go to Jersey Mike's or even Jimmy John's than Subway, right? But Subway is the #1 fast food out of all of them.
A young boy situation. We ain't never seen somebody get this many chances, then get a pardon. Look who he signed to. Look at who the label owners are.
Excuse me.
That whole little Jewish community owning them labels. Come on, man. It's 10 million for a pardon. These boys getting them. You think Trump ever listened to an NBA YoungBoy song?
Nope.
Hell no. Facts. So when you see all of this taking place, this is the conspiracy, which is actual facts. The coincidences I've been trying to tell people about. It's bullshit, bro. Queso ain't had no major deal. But all of the guys who got the major deals, they free on the street with the same charges.
Well, you know what I seen somebody point out also is Queso never did an interview.
Not one time.
So we can't blame the podcasters and the interviewers for this one.
These are the top.
Well, they get those interviews. You think you're just allowed to go on Vlad TV? Anybody? I'm sure there's some, but it's rare. Like your record label gets in contact, like, hey, we want this guy on. He's got to do the interview, right? You don't get to go on the Breakfast Club. You don't get to go on these big time podcasts to do interviews just because who you are, right? You got to have a connection, someone to open the door for you to get you, and these record executives to get you in that, you know, to sit on that chair and do an interview, right? Joe Schmo can't go up there.
Worst geographically placed cities in America. Number 5, San Francisco.
That's a
So
dope
the
hat,
reason that
that
this
King's
one
hat.
is number 5 is because of a couple of things. So first, because it's actually placed directly on top of the San Andreas fault line, which is one of the strongest faults in all of the world and is capable of producing earthquakes that would level any city on this planet. Also, because it's placed on such a tight peninsula, it makes expansion impossible. So San Francisco is as large as it's ever going to get. The only way it could grow is to grow up. Number 4, Miami. Most of the city barely sits above sea level, and then on top of that, it doesn't matter what they do. It is literally made of a substance that is like a sponge. So any water that is around the city gets soaked up by the ground that it's underneath, and so flooding is always happening in Miami. So they predict that in the next 50 to 100 years, Miami will be completely underwater. There's even plans right now to preserve parts of the city and have it as an underwater like museum, basically. Number 3, Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona is on this list. I think it's probably the most obvious of all so far because it literally sits within the desert and summers get up to sometimes 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It's almost unlivable. And you think about how were people living in Phoenix in the 1800s and 1700s, and the answer is not very many people were. You ask why did people ever choose to live in Phoenix? It's because it was a good like middle point between going west and the east. Number 2, Las Vegas, Nevada. Just like Phoenix, this is another one, another desert where summers get up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The thing that makes it a little bit worse than Phoenix is there's no natural water sources. Back in the day, there were natural springs. Now Vegas completely depends on the Colorado River, but guess what else depends on the Colorado River? Los Angeles, Denver.
So what happens when that dries up?
The Colorado River is almost completely dried up. Within the next 20 to 30 years, Vegas is not going to be a place where people can live anymore. And number 1, New Orleans. New Orleans is number 1, and it is known around the world as being the single worst example of human infrastructure ever. And it's because of one very simple reason. The entire city of New Orleans is under sea level, and it's surrounded by water on all sides. On one side, it's surrounded by Lake Pontchartrain. On the other side, it's surrounded by the Mississippi River. And then on the other side is the Gulf of Mexico. It's a bowl. Any inconvenience whatsoever, and the city is flooding. What makes it even worse, it's sinking 2 inches a year. So there is a realistic chance that within the next 20 to 30 years, New Orleans ceased to exist anymore, and all of the residents are forced to move inland.
I mean, we saw a video on our videos, a clip, right, of lady was walking down the street in New Orleans and a sailboat just goes by like lower than eye level, like went by a freaking sailboat and she was just walking on the street. That's crazy. But one of the oldest conspiracies in the book when I was little that I can remember was California is going to be underwater one day. Right? We all heard that. I heard that when I was little. We were talking about that.
All right, so we're here in Hollywood. Hollywood Boulevard. They're going Jimmy Kimmel Live, right? But look at the top of the building. Look what it says. Freemasonry builds its temples among the nations and in the hearts of men. Look at this.
This is no other than Hollywood Boulevard.
But look, the Jimmy Kimmel Live building is a Freemasonry building. I'm telling y'all, man, Hollywood is filled with Freemasonry.
Yeah, that whole strip was built by Freemasons.
It's crazy.
For me, one of the saddest things is there's a lot of people that get involved with this type of stuff and they think they're edgy and they really don't understand the danger and fight that they're playing with. They mustn't, because if they did, they wouldn't do it. And what's even scarier, there is several hundred registered satanic churches across the globe. There's ones in the shadows, unofficial ones. This is spiritual warfare, and we are living amongst the enemy.
I want you to look at your bank account, see what you have in checking or savings. All right? And then I want you to tell yourself that it's not yours. The Lowe's and rip-off holidays demand that you pay them tribute with all this junk. So you will not have savings ever.
A nurse was so lazy that he killed his patients to reduce his workload. Reports are coming out today that an unnamed 44-year-old German man has been sentenced to life in prison after killing 10 of his patients and attempting to murder at least 27 others. Prosecutors say that he targeted mainly his elderly patients by injecting them with lethal amounts of painkillers or sedatives to ease his workload during night shifts. Bro, killing because you can't be asked is wild. But what makes this even worse is that all of these offenses took place over a period of just 6 months. And it might not even end there, because authorities believe that he could be linked to even more victims prior to this time frame.
Y'all, we have something to tell y'all. We're not the real us. Stop glitching. We're not the real us. How?
The Ouija board. A lot of kids play with it. How dangerous is the Ouija board?
That's another door. That's definitely another door. That's a spiritual door. Because the thing about the Ouija board, you're not contacting somebody specific. That's like a Russian roulette of anybody can step into the realm and talk to you on that board. Now, with that being said, fuck anybody with a bad temper, shit, it's not good. People that play around with that, it's not good.
Is it risky for you too?
No, it's not good. Like I said, I use it for the end of the part that when they don't want to speak to my muertos, the main reason is because they're scared of them, or they already made it affirmed to them, like, fuck on, we run this here.
Yeah,
you know? So they just stay in line. So if they don't want to say shit, that's another way for me to communicate with them. But they haven't moved nothing. Matter of fact, the funny thing is they would play chess with me.
They would play chess?
Yeah, they play chess with me. So I'll make a move, and then the next day or later on, he makes the next move. Since I brought those dolls, though, they haven't played chess. Like, I've been running the same game for like 3 weeks. I'm white.
Guys, this is no joke or not scripted, no nothing. This is all authentic, real stuff, like I said from the first podcast.
So Taylor Swift is finally showing you guys who she truly is, and you're still not paying attention, huh? She literally called herself a witch in this tweet. Billboard chart says this is a song for all the lonely witches. Y'all think they're just putting on an artistic act? This woman was on tour going state to state, doing live rituals on stage. And nobody's paying attention to it, huh? You're that brainwashed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a serpent behind her. Y'all waking up yet? Last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch.
Yep.
In that video, she was acting like she was in hell. So yeah, last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch in hell. But are you catching on yet?
Now we're reverse engineering that for the robots. Now we're reverse engineering that for the armies. Now we're reverse engineering that for the military. That's why we are building a King's Dome or the Golden Dome of the United States to protect us from near quantum or soon to be quantum entangled, what you and I sometimes share, downloads for military purposes.
This is how crazy coffee prices have gotten recently. Look at this. Right now it's $8.59, but look like what it used to be.
I used to love Cafe Bustelo.
It was
Too expensive now.
Wait.
I get generic.
Before that, $379.
Jamie Foxx having a party. You feel me? And we at the party, we had a contract with the Ford Modeling Company.
Okay.
We at this party, we got these two models. Now, they have a runway show later on that evening. This is a day party.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we got models and they have a runway show, they can't really eat. I used to always say, man, why do they always want to bring these little ladies who can barely eat food to party? They finna start getting sick. There's nothing in their body for them to vomit. So they finna start getting sick, and okay, we gotta make sure the bathroom's secure. So I say, bro, we got protocol. Can you get to the bathroom, make sure it's smooth? He said, yeah, but I gotta use the bathroom first.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I have no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally. Then I get my funding.
Has anyone ever seen the south coast of
2 years ago, I was backpacking with my friend, and my friend, a small child at the time, and some dude came up to us in a cafe, and he was like, oh, hey, how are you guys doing for money? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. That's a weird question, but he's like, no. He goes, I can give you like, I can't remember off the top of my head, it was like 20,000 euros. I was like, what for? He's like, for the kid. It just blew my mind. I would happily erase that memory.
What did y'all say and do?
At first, I was just like, whoa, this is up. I said to my friend, I was like, we need to go. And like, they kind of left, and like, I don't know, I can't really say what I did to him. It's good.
Come on, guys, wake up. Everyone thinks, oh, when we go on holiday, it's time to let our guard down, it's time to relax. Welcome to reality. Let's hit you with some real cases. In Mexico, a Canadian mother reported while staying at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico, a man approached her and offered her cash to buy her 5-year-old daughter repeatedly and attempted to follow them. Local authorities confirmed they were investigating him for human trafficking. 2021, Disney, Florida. A tourist family staying at a hotel near Disney World Orlando was approached by a man in the lobby who offered $10,000 cash for their 8-year-old, then refused to back off. Even after being told no, staff called the police and was arrested for attempted human trafficking. So next time you go on holiday, eyes wide open, no guard down, stay vigilant, because this is what really goes on.
So I talked to a CIA remote viewer, and she told me this. She told me that Trump only has 3 years in office. Now, when she said that, I'm thinking, does he die? She said no. She said, I can't see too much past that as far as what happens to him. It looks like he steps down. I'm not sure. But he only has 3 years. Now, we're 6 months in.
3 years to put us where? 2028?
Just about.
Okay.
Yep. Just about. You know, if you're counting from when he came into office, or at least when he got elected, you can kind of give or take.
Okay.
But when he took office was January 20th.
Okay.
And we're 6 months in now. So,
right.
About 2028. So what happens at 2028? Right? So here's the thing.
I know you gotta go with this.
Let's get it.
There's something called Agenda 2030 that nobody really talks about. And they changed the name throughout history. They've been talking about this since the 80s and 90s. They always called it the plan for sustainability and different things that move the goalposts, right?
Shit, crazy.
But now, Agenda 2030, it's essentially the NWO plan, one world government, etc.
I've found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices out there.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was, which I found different stuff before, you know, I'll find maybe where someone was doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrificed a chicken, whatever. All that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy. But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news. And that's the facility I was hunting. It's Aerojet. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets.
And what were you hunting there?
Pythons. I was out there, you know, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from out there.
Florida's crazy.
And nobody can just go back out there, but people do go out there, as you can see from the graffiti and different stuff like that. Usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There've been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram?
So yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside down wooden cross on top and a bunch of red spray painted upside down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, you know, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new. You know, this wasn't out here a few days ago. And then I found this little doll. And as I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up there it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, you know, is kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake, on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life, and that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus. There was blood coming out of its beehole, which, you know, I don't know why, who knows what. It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weirder from there. You see the red lettering in the other clip. It was a big Latin saying, like 100 foot long pretty much, on the road. I drove over it. We later translated it to turn around, run, hide, he is watching you.
We think it's going to be a swarming attack, right? Multiple different attacks at one time across multiple cities. We think there will, just because some of the attackers went through and they have these vests. And then we think there's these Fideian attackers who will carry on until they're killed.
You just rephrase that. So these guys are trained and they are going to fight until they're killed.
Yes, and that matters, right? So I was watching this video and it was a bombing in Kabul years ago. The bomber blew up and then everyone starts moving in. The first responders move in, right? And then another guy walks in and blows up. We know this is a tactic. But if Americans don't understand this is a tactic and don't understand these attackers are going to fight to the death, think about that. Battle's going on. The attacker surrenders. He might best, you know, we let our guard down. That man came to die, right? He's gonna fight till he dies or you die. So we can't let our guards down, and they know our weakness. So we have to be very careful that we don't have more people die in these second and third order effects of not knowing their intent.
Wish I would have paid more attention.
Have you guys seen the Olsen twins lately? Nobody had seen them in a long time, and then they come out with this new line called Staying Alive with Louis Vuitton, which if I didn't see the names by these photos, I would not believe in a million years if you told me these were the Olsen twins. They look nothing like the Olsen twins. What do you guys think?
Okay, so have y'all seen the videos about the concert that went down at the pyramids of Giza in Egypt? Because a lot of people are saying that this is not about music, this is definitely giving spiritual warfare. The concert was called Anima Quantum Genesis, but it was way more than lasers and beats. Something felt very much different because people were stating it was giving rituals or maybe even revelations, pretty much truth hidden in plain sight. And it's about an android named Eva that's supposed to merge humans with machinery, with technology. And it was giving like consciousness meets creation, but they had all types of symbolisms from serpents to all types of, angels and just fire and just hidden, geometry, just many different things that make people feel very much uncomfortable. And while many people seem to enjoy it, a lot of people felt as if it was quite demonic. All of these visuals were projected onto the pyramids themselves. Now think about that. One of the oldest human symbols of power and eternity, now pulsing with digital life, AI imagery, and machine consciousness. Quite literally like the old world and the new world shaking hands or pretty much fusing together. That's what it was symbolizing. People are saying that this absolutely wasn't random because quantum genesis means the birth of something new from the unseen, and their final act was called the end of Genesis, which pretty much means the end of creation. So this was almost like a message that the era of human origin is over, and whatever is next is not organic, that it'll be artificial and completely engineered. There's this eerie feeling that the show was way more than entertainment and pretty much more so a transmission, like a warning about the next stages of evolution, like the setting with the pyramids perfectly aligned with the stars, kind of like a cosmic connection. But that's what I'm seeing in the comments. Maybe there's just a lot of fear mongering going on, but the timing just felt really deliberate. Like the words, the imagery, it all just points to transformation, transcendence, or even maybe replacement. So what do you guys think when you see all of these images? Was this just an artistic statement, a musical expression, or something way deeper, like quite literal rituals and activations hidden right before our very own eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Per usual, this is all alleged. I'm just going based off what I see online. Can't confirm or deny anything, but if you haven't heard about quantum genesis, definitely implore you to do your research. Whatever else I find out, I will be back though, so make sure you like, follow, stay for some more.
Like, it's no coincidence, I feel, that I've never been to a concert. I've never been to a club. I've been to very few bars. Never was a fan of them. I would just go because, I was just never like a Friday night, like, let's go to the bar. Like, it was never my thing. I'd go with my neighbors or something, but, there's no good energy there. No good energy at concerts. Like, we see what they're doing. Like, no wonder I never wanted. We see the clubs, all this crazy stuff that goes on there. And then when I do go to church, the little I have gone, like when they're talking, I'm like, I already feel that. I already do that. Like, God is in us. He's in us. And I don't know, some people maybe need seeking to find it within, but I just feel like there's a reason why I've never been to a concert, never been to a club, rarely ever went to bars. Like, I'm probably count on two hands how many times I've been to a bar in my 35 years of life. Like, it's just never been my thing. I've always just been, staying in my, I don't want to say comfort zone, but staying in my home, right? In my godly home, in my area.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases, to be exact, to the public. And we're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports. The files were originally set to drop on June 13th, but they went live early with no warning. And there's some seriously amazing stuff inside. So I've only cracked into it just a touch, and already it's mind-blowing. It talks about cases like the 1977 Colares incident, where locals were reportedly injured by beams of light coming from low-flying UFOs. It was so intense that the Brazilian military launched Operação Prato, Operation Saucer, to investigate. There's also the 1986 Night of the UFOs, where 21 objects were spotted across southern Brazil, tracked on radar and chased by Air Force jets. So if you want to check it out yourself, there's a website you can go to. I'll list it right here. You'll need to register, but the docs are public. A lot of it's in Portuguese, but you can get it translated. Brazil just raised the bar. It's your move, Pentagon. Follow for more, because I'm going to be cracking into this.
You guys, they show us in the movies what's going on in real life. So if you heard of Mall World, okay, if you haven't, search it on TikTok. Your mind's going to be blown away, and why this is not a good place to go to. So in the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, they go into a dream state, and you'll recognize that they don't want to disturb the peace there, because if they do, people will attack them. The people in the dream will try to kick them out, and that's exactly what happens in Mall World, you guys. My amazing friend pointed that out. She's like, have you seen the movie Inception? Because exactly what your dream was, what you said, is what happens in the movie Inception. You guys, Mall World is not a place you want to go to, okay? You can astral project into other realms that are way better for you. Follow me and save this video if you want to learn how.
What is Mall World? Well, it can be a lot of different things. Sometimes it's a mall connected to a school, connected to a fancy hotel, and even a hospital. It all leads to a beautiful beach behind it all. Reddit user Suspicious Juice 150 once said, Mall World is a higher dimensional projection of humanity's collective unconsciousness. It loops and it shifts and it bends in ways that don't quite make sense. Every hallway feels familiar, but you've never been here before. They call it Mall World, but It's much more than just a mall. It's a shared dream experience people keep finding themselves in. When I started sketching places I had been to before, people online said that they had been there before too. Same food courts, same underground theater, same endless escalators, and that's when it started to feel real. But what is real? Well, here's what we know. During REM sleep, our brains light up like we are awake, but instead of logic, emotion takes the wheels. Our hippocampus starts stitching together fragments of memory, familiar sounds, faces, spaces, and that's how the dream world forms. So, maybe Mall World isn't supernatural at all. Maybe it's just a byproduct of billions of people dreaming about the same kind of place, the kind of place that we all used to gather.
But the feeling that I had while I was in that dream, it was so vivid. I mean, everything seemed so real. Like, what could possibly be causing me to construct this artificial reality in my mind that, at the moment at least, was indistinguishable from the reality that I experience right now? And I'm assuming, because I just knocked on this table, that I'm awake.
Yeah, I really hope I'm not just a fictive character in your dreamscape.
Well, maybe we're sharing a dream.
Yeah, very Inception-like.
Is that possible?
Not based on the science so far.
So, what is Mall World? A dream? A memory? A shared hallucination of humanity's collective past? Whatever it is, it's waiting for us every time we close our eyes.
Man, that could drive you crazy if you go too deep into that.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes to see.
How many years does a tree grow this big? The answer is 66 million years. Most people believe this is the largest tree in the world, standing at an overall height of 867 feet, with a base diameter of about 800 feet. According to Arapaho legend, a little girl turned into a bear and, while chasing her siblings, accidentally harmed her sister. When her sister didn't recover, the bear girl climbed to the top of the tree, abandoning her family to protect them. The bear's claw marks were left on the side of the tree. It wasn't until 1875 that an explorer named Dodge climbed it and discovered it wasn't a tree, but a massive rock formation, which he named Devil's Tower. Many Native Americans believe it is sacred and should not be climbed because of its unique cultural significance and shape. Devil's Tower became the first national monument in the United States. More than 400,000 visitors climb Devil's Tower each year. It's hard to imagine the breathtaking view from the top.
And Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever this is. Like,
This is not
I know
That's right.
that this is wickedness, but I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can.
Both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died early this afternoon.
Everyone's looking at Rocky instead of looking at the truth. Griffin, what's going on up there? Come on. Another Griffin. Make it make sense, Philadelphia. What were you doing over here? 1829. 1929. Make it make sense. Someone sound off. Tell me if you believe this. A little aquatic, a little Bible, a little Egypt. This is like a potluck of history. I'll give you a little bit of everything. And like an AI generated, mix everything together. Come on, man. Philly, make it make sense. Come on. What era are we in? And why are you going into the ground? We're already on a hill. We're already on a hill. And you got this guy fighting a lion. Like he just swam out of the ocean. What is this? This is as close as I can get to have it roped off. But is this America? Philly Museum. Of course. Let's have some fish. Alright, we get it. The Griffins. We get it. Not even sure why they're called the Philadelphia Eagles. Make it make sense. And this guy. He got caught stealing? Philadelphia stole his arm. Who is this? I can see, oh, we won a championship. Rip the guy's arm off. Who is this? Lagakos? Greek? Philadelphia? Did you rip his arm off during a Super Bowl celebration? Or did a Griffin take it? But they want to distract you with Rocky. By the time you're out of breath from eating cheesesteaks and walking these stairs because we can't run because we're Americans, we forget what we came here for. To make it make sense.
In the 1980s episode of DuckTales, Scrooge McDuck becomes stressed out and frustrated, with the chaos of money and business. So he looks for a place called Tra-La-La-La, where there isn't any money, right? It's very peaceful. People don't know what coins are, banks are, nothing. Now, Scrooge McDuck's accountant, right, can't believe it. And he explains to the people that if they have anything that's rare, right, they can probably, that no one else has, they can use that to get valuable things. So what the people discover are bottle caps, right? Which is nothing to the ducks. It doesn't matter to Scrooge McDuck or his family. I mean, bottle caps have no value because everyone has them. But in Tra-La-La-La, no one has bottle caps, so now this becomes a currency, and people are offering up 5-10 sheep for one bottle cap. Scrooge McDuck wants to fix his problem because, remember, he doesn't want to be around money, and he decides he's going to give everyone a bottle cap, and that will fix the problem. Except someone uses a disguise and gets 2 bottle caps and says, I'm superior to everyone else because I have 2 bottle caps. People of the village get upset. Scrooge McDuck then says, I'm going to fix it by just dropping like 1 million bottle caps onto the village. Then inflation ensues. Everything that used to be free is now extremely expensive. People start fighting over money. They get upset, and they blame Scrooge McDuck and his family for all of their problems, and they have to run out of the village, right? Now, if you take a current situation like Starbucks, they've introduced some plastic cups with a bear shape on them for $30, and you have people lining up in front of Starbucks 4 o'clock in the morning, fighting each other, doing whatever to get these plastic teddy bear cups, to the point they're being resold online for like $300, right? So this concept of money being the root of all evil, which people will, constantly say, it's not money that causes greed. It's our greed that creates money.
Look at these doors. These are doors. Come on, bro.
Really? So, number one, the NPCs. You know what an NPC is, right? They have daily routines and social media reactions. So in GTA 6, NPCs, they won't just walk around aimlessly. They live full lives, they have jobs, schedules, and they can even post on a fictional social media app about what they witnessed.
I might have to get down on some GTA with you guys.
You might go viral for all the wrong reasons. So that's crazy.
To get from the lounge to the loo, you had to pass through the corner of the kitchen. There was a door here, and then you went through a door there. As I went through that door there, just going to go into that door there, there was a reptilian standing there. It was tall. I mean, I didn't have my tape measure on me or anything, but it was a lot taller than me. And it was crouched like that. It was green. It had these kind of orangey slit eyes. It had a paler chest. It had like ridges and scales. But the thing about it was that it looked at me, and what I felt was from him was, oh shit, it's in me. It was more kind of worried that I'd seen it than having any kind of negative intent towards me or whatsoever. And I'm on the move, you see, when I see this, and I'm just going to step into the hallway to go to the loo. And as I saw it, I was in mid-flight, so I couldn't stop immediately. So I went like that, came back, and it had gone. But the whole room was not the room. It was standing in the corner of the room, where the corner of the room should have been, but the room wasn't there. It was another dimension. I walked through another dimension.
Hi there, neighbors. I'm George Bush.
Question is, where's all this money going?
So long, suckers.
In the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. We have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more.
And what would be the purpose?
If you thought you were going to get a near extinction event.
Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Gates, they're all said to have built these facilities many years ago, preparing for something.
Hey, turkeys behind you.
Well, there's the answer to my question that I had yesterday. Where's all our tax money going? Our infrastructure is garbage. Our city transportation is garbage. But the rich and elites' underground bunkers are golden bridges, y'all. Cold game, ain't it? Welcome to, not even America. Welcome to the rich and powerful, y'all. The rich and famous, right? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you made it this far, y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's Tuesday. Mama Bear's off. It's late already. It's already going to be 12 o'clock. I need to slow down with the coffee, y'all. This video should have been done, should have been out. Second video should have been done. I haven't even eaten nothing today. I've been fasting since 6 o'clock yesterday. I need to get some food in me. We're going on a what? What is that? I stopped eating yesterday at 6 to 10. 18-hour fasting, y'all. I need to get some food in me. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. You know I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one, right? Later.